What's the buzz? This is Zeta Beetle, and welcome back to Galactic Swarm Squad. Today, we go through part number 3 of the final saga of the Galactic Swarm Squad. Yep, this is pretty much the end, unless I decide to use my phone and record the Spy Within challenge. Maybe I will if I get enough comments asking me to, but aside from that, let's begin. As I said in the last episode, this is the only challenge that I really get done in this particular part. And it's not really going to change in the next episode. As a matter of fact, the whole Longshot saga, as I'm going to be calling this, is is going to be the whole rest of the season, to be perfectly honest with you. So get comfortable. This season is going out with a bang. At the very least, I could have ended off with something worse. Can we just put that out there? I could have chosen something a lot worse to end the season with. So, I have weapons that could potentially help me with the whole long-range thing. And then I just get rid of my assault rifle in favor of a revolver. I think it was an assault rifle. Don't quote me too much on that. But yeah, I keep the crossbow because it has a scope for helping me aim down long distances. Now, here's one thing that really I don't like all that much about the normal crossbow. And if it's getting old that I keep mentioning this in the slower weapons, I'm very sorry, but the truth of the matter is it fires way too slow. The only reason why I'm sticking with it in the what is clearly unvaulted Team Rumble is the very fact that it can help me aim down long distances, and I do not have a sniper rifle to my name. So, yeah. Unfortunately, it's all I had at the time, and even though I don't really like some of these weapons, I will still use them most of the time, because a weapon is better than no weapon, even if the firing rate does make it no better sometimes than no weapon at all. So, I'm trudging through the storm here, getting onto the eye, because, you know, basic Fortnite survival, you know. You don't just stay in the storm, especially now, since probably late season, chapter 3. And the reason for that is, if you stay, I believe it was like 7 minutes in the storm, you will get storm sickness. And it kind of sounds like radiation sickness. But the thing about it is, when you stay in the storm for that long, you start taking a massive amount of damage. And I think it's ever increasing whenever you keep staying in the storm while you're afflicted by storm sickness. So think of it like this. It's like you're in a late stage of the storm when you're still in the early stage, and it just rapidly keeps getting worse for you. And that would be an accurate description of storm sickness. Of all the times that excuse me. Of all the times that I have played, I have only seen, well, I've never really seen storm sickness personally myself. I've only been told about it by Jester, and since I edit his content, I also have some knowledge of what the storm sickness actually is. To some degree, I look through his content and see what is worth keeping and what is worth getting rid of. And nowadays, since he's fallen so far behind in many of his challenge series, I've basically told him that you should really focus on the storyline quests, so as to not take so much time getting all the content out and having a lot of backload to try and catch up on. And this ends up working to get him to get rid of a lot of non-storyline related challenges in Chapter 3, Season 4. So nowadays, he just focuses on the Oathbound quests of Chapter 4. And in the time that it takes for them to put out new quests for that, he has resumed work on the so-called Droid Wars saga. And it's honestly really I'm happy to see that he's actually growing from what he's used to doing, and eventually I will get out of my own little backlog of content, and eventually be helping him out by putting up more up-to-date content in Fortnite as well. But I first have to get past this and the next episode of Galactic Swarm Squad in order to make that a reality. Which shouldn't be too much of an issue, because Galactic Swarm Squad is about to come to an end anyway, and yeah. Anyway, enough blethering on about that. Let's focus on the main event right here, which is to try and hit an opponent from over 50 meters away. Even with, and especially with, the crossbow that I'm using right now, that is a very tall order for me. I'm used to using weapons with higher firing rates, because those are the types of weapons that I am able to practice with in normal Battle Royale, and I don't practice in creative as much as my creative-oriented friends would probably like. I could probably remedy that by actually making a kind of boot camp for myself, and kind of putting myself through situations where I have to experiment with said weapons. So I yeah, I might end up doing that. Who knows? It might actually do some good and help me to think smarter rather than harder. So yeah, I think I've stumbled across a pretty good idea. Yeah. But first things first, I have to make the boot camp for myself in the first place. So, once I get through with that bit, that'll be that much. That'll be that much less that I have to take care of afterwards. So whenever I experiment, I'd rather have a controlled I'd rather have a controlled setting in which that I do that, so that I actually have a chance to do something with said weapons, and be able to actually train with them. And I can be like, oh, that's how you do it. And I just managed a pretty far range elimination with the crossbow just then. One thing that I do like about the crossbow is that, for the most part, it is fairly silent. So, and when there's something that I like about the weapon, it's usually the exact opposite for the people, for the rest of the people that play this game, because they always whine that it's overpowered, and that they can't really fight against it. And in some people's hand, yes, that is absolutely the case. But when it comes to us noobs, we still have problems actually getting things done with the weapons that they say is overpowered. Like, I'm not exactly a noob anymore. I have grown from the between chapters, and sometimes I do experiment and successfully learn a weapon that I'm not used to. However, if I'm up against somebody who has loads of experience in the game and is very aggressive in their playstyle, I can't learn the weapon in those the conditions, and I will completely drop that weapon entirely. So, yeah. That's basically that's basically why I don't experiment with weapons as much as I should. Because I keep coming across these players that are significantly better than me. And it takes using a weapon that I actually know how to use in order to even stand a hair of a chance against those people. So, yeah. That's basically my reason. Alrighty. So this round will play out much like the last one, and the next two in the next episode. And, barring the Spy Within challenges, which I might or might not use my cell phone to record, depending on if I get enough comments or requests from my friends to actually record that set. The next episode may be the last. So, just putting that out there, guys. Anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm going to be doing the same challenge as I did the last round, and this is going to pretty well be the rest of the season. So, yeah. On the good hand, that means that there's not that much of this season left to go, which those of you who despise outdated content will be relieved with. On the other hand, it does mean that you only have this one challenge left to look forward to. So, there are definitely worse challenges that I could have left you with here. Like, I could have ended the series with a challenge like I could have ended the series with the series with the challenge to gather food stuff. Or I could have done something like do melee damage to structures. Something that ended up being less exciting than trying to deal damage from 50 meters away. So yeah, that's what I could have left you with instead of this exciting finale. Or if you guys do want to see my my run in the Spies Within, then I will try to get that to you. But if there's not enough of a demand for it, then I will not do it. I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes. I would have to use my cell phone in order to record it. So yeah. It's going to be rather awkward. And alright. I shoot a rocket at that building because I feel like there was somebody in there. And either my rocket or somebody else's rocket hit the structure and blew off the top of it. But my main task is to hit anybody that's my opponent, at a range of over 50 meters. So, one of the things that I'm using for this is the scoped AR. And that's one of the things that make me very happy that I don't need to make eliminations from that far away. Because, generally speaking, my expertise with slower firing weapons is not as great as with the faster firing weapons. So, suffice it to say, if I needed to do eliminations with this would be a far longer series, because I would have to patiently use weapons that I wasn't familiar with to get the job done, because some of the weapons that I am familiar with don't quite cut it at 50 or more meters. An assault rifle could do it, and a rocket launcher in many situations definitely could. But SMGs, pistols, shotguns, none of those really have the oomph at long ranges to carry out a mission like that. Debatably, I've heard that the heavy shotgun could. Okay, shining moment right there. I chose a moment where that opponent was so focused on somebody else that without even moving, they set themselves up for a heavy sniper headshot. That was incredibly lucky. Like, there are seldom any people like that, and for me to have found somebody like that is nothing short of miraculous luck. So, yeah, that's I am going ahead and make a new ramp so that I can take higher ground on any person that I need it on. Only for the person that was default dancing on me after having asked me for either weapon or ammo to break me down. But I deployed my glider in time to avoid fall damage, which would have probably killed me from that height. But I did have to do it over again. So I was understandably a little bit annoyed with that guy. Another shining moment right there, where I actually led my shot to where that guy was going rather than where he was, which I am normally inclined to do. But since I managed to lead my shot there, yeah, that ended up being like that. Those shining moments are rare, I am getting better, but moments like that where I'm actually great with a sniper rifle, those come few and far in between. Like, whenever I make a shot like that, it's typically a stroke of luck, basically, what I'm trying to say. And if I were to show you some clips from different seasons, the very fact that I got overexcited about even making an elimination at all proves to you how much I have come a long way, because right now I am basically just calmly telling you, hey, I made a shining moment with a sniper rifle, and this is rare. I'm not just excitedly saying, ooh, look at that shot, that was crazy, wasn't it? The thing is, the more experienced you get at something, the less exciting it is when you actually land a good shot like that. And it's like, oh, I landed a cool shot. Just to checkmark that next to and all the other times that I did it. And I don't mean to be the guy that just basically says that to everyone. Like, it's just, you know, it's basically, how do I describe this? It's just that I'm used to it. Yeah, that's really all that is to it. So here's another thing. Here's another thing that really gives you a perspective as to my skill level in Chapter 1. Do you know how many victory umbrellas that I personally achieved? 3. The default umbrella for when you win. The Season 4 victory umbrella, which was my starting season, and I can't even take credit for that win. I was just hunkering down in somebody else's porta-fort and just fearing for my life while my teammates, which were more competent than me, actually did the dirty work for me. And then Season X, my first solo victory. And that was due to my clever... That was due to my clever exploitation of the storm flip. I was safe in the storm while they were not. And I think they decided to rush me because they figured that I wasn't going to die in the storm. So, having foolishly done that, they ensured that I was going to win. So, out of all of the seasons that I have personally played, I have only won in 2. And only 1 I actually got a solo victory out of it. Jester, on the other hand, in Chapter 1, got a victory umbrella in Season 7 and Season 9. So, he also has 2. Neither of us managed to get it in Season 6, or Season 8, or 5. And that seems to be about as much as we have time for to do today. In the next episode, and possibly the last, we are going to do more of the same. Basically, take down opponents, or rather damage them from 50 meters away or more. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Until then... Adios, amigos.